It's exciting that the Business Boutique was made for you.
I know that I can make a difference in people's lives, and I want to do that.
Hearing a lot of what other people are going through is really healing in a sense and motivating as well.
I have the world in my hand, and I can do whatever I want to.
Learning from some of the top leaders who can make these dreams a reality is just so exciting.
It ignited a passion in me to know she can do that, we can do that too.
I'm so blessed to have heard the podcast that led me to this moment.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Business Boutique Podcast. I'm Christy Wright, and today we're celebrating you. That's right, this episode is a little different. Since it's the end of the year, we wanted to stop and take a moment to recognize you and the hard work you've put in this year. Whether you're just getting started or you've had a breakout year, I want to celebrate you. That's what the Business Boutique is all about. We're going to hear from a woman who started a side business and was able to quit her full-time job. We'll also hear from a woman who focused on the why behind her business and was able to make it through some tough financial times. And along the way, we're going to sprinkle in some emails and messages we've received over the past year. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Let's first listen to the story of a woman who started a side business and within 4 months was able to quit her full-time job.
I'm extremely passionate about making people joyful through food. And getting to share that and make money doing that is incredible to me, and I'm so grateful.
Meet Catherine Kramer. She's the owner of Southern Home Bakery.
My business is Southern Home Bakery, where we do custom Southern classic desserts for people for their private events, for restaurants and corporate businesses. We also do themed gift baskets with several specialty Southern things that we make, like vanilla extract and specialty fun things like that.
Catherine's love of baking started at a young age and has stayed with her since.
Since I was a little girl, I love to bake. I have a very Southern mama and 2 Southern grandmothers, and baking was just something that we always did and something that we shared with other people. If they were going through something great or terrible, it was something that was shared and shared often. It was, even as I grew up, something that I loved and I shared in college, and girls would ask me to throw them their birthday parties, and it was effortless for me. I never really thought about making it a business or making money from doing it.
Catherine pursued a career in nursing, but she decided that wasn't the right path for her. She felt stuck and hopeless.
I pursued a career path in nursing, which is what I thought I really wanted to do, and got a fabulous job in Orlando working as a pediatric nurse. And I was in the night shift, and it was a really difficult experience and led me down a fairly dark road, both literally and figuratively, considering I was working at night. But it was during that time that I kind of realized I don't want my life to look like this. And what do I want my life to look like? And I get to be whoever I want to be. And there was such freedom that I found in that. In the beginning, I felt very stuck. I thought, this is what I went to school for. This is what I thought I wanted to do. This is what I told everyone that I wanted to do. And this is my only option. And that is a very dark place that I was in. And I was in almost a depressed state. I wasn't sleeping well during the day or during the night. I didn't really have any dreams because at that place that I was in my job and in my career, that was pretty much the peak. And I was not creative, and I was not as invested in the things that really mattered to me, like my relationships and my family and my relationship with Jesus. And all of those things were very dark for me. I felt very hopeless at times. Then I realized that God made me unique, and I don't have to make any apology for that. And I have the freedom to be whoever I want and to build a life that I really love and that I'm really proud of. And not only that, but here's my steps to do it. And so in that moment, I felt some direction and I felt hope again, and I felt determination to work really hard on that thing during the day, even when I was at the hospital at night.
Earlier this year, Catherine started reading the Business Boutique book. She used the book to create a plan to launch her business.
Freedom and a direction really came when I started reading Christy's book, Business Boutique, and that gave me such a road to follow and clear steps to achieving my dream that I didn't even know would be possible for me to live out on a daily basis and make money doing it.
Even though she was unhappy with her career, Catherine kept working as a nurse. She launched her business and worked both jobs at the same time.
I really learned from Christy that it's okay, and not only is it okay, but it's good to start slow and to accept the handful that you have and to throw it in with full faith and hard work and grow it, and then throw your larger handful in. So what that looked like for me was getting the business license through the state, which allowed me to sell at farmers markets, and allowed me to sell wholesale, and it allowed me to sell at larger events. In order to get the license, I had to have commercial space, and financially, it was a really good idea to rent that space rather than to build out and own my own bakery. So that's what I did. And that's a way that I could start my business completely debt-free and grow it immediately, where it's taking in revenue and supporting itself. So that's really the way that I modeled my business, was completely out of that model that she teaches in the book.
Catherine was intentional with her business plan. She started small and baby stepped into her business.
Since reading her book in May, I decided to launch my business and work on it extremely hard during the day while I was continuing to work at night as a nurse, and continuing to get that direct deposit and have money that I could funnel out and grow my business as she prescribes, very small and very slow, rather than just jumping in all at once.
Catherine started working on her business in May of 2017. She officially launched her business 3 months later on August 1st. And by August 30th, she was able to quit her full-time job as a nurse to focus on her bakery full-time.
I had been building this business since May through just my home and through private orders. So I had a pretty steady basis in clientele. Once I was able to get my business license on August 1st, I had all of the legalities to really grow my business to a larger scale. So that allowed me even more opportunities, even with the clients that I had already formed. So by that time, I felt comfortable to kind of take that step. And in the past 2 months, my business is making money and it's supporting itself. And I'm so grateful.
Fear was something Catherine battled every day. Fear told her that she would lose her identity if she quit nursing.
I had a lot of fear in the beginning. I had a lot of fear about doing this. Would people buy into what I'm selling? When something's easy for you, you think that it must be easy for everyone else. And that delegitimizes what you do, because you think, oh, everyone can do this. So I really felt like, well, making beautiful cupcakes, making pecan pie bars and lemon squares, that's easy. And making them look good and putting them out on a beautiful platter for a party, that's so easy, and anyone can do that. And they're going to look at this and think like, why would I pay money for that when I could just make it? And that's not true.
Fear also told her that she'd never make it in her new job as a baker.
Also, just because there's other bakeries in Orlando, Florida, doesn't make mine any less valuable, because I contribute something that no one else can contribute, because I am the only person like me. And those two things really helped me kind of fight that fear for sure, and gave me the confidence to do it and to feel comfortable to ask for the sale. You know, I felt a lot of fear as far as people look at, I'm a pediatric nurse. Wow, that's such a wonderful thing. That's really something to be proud of. And that when I would let that go, because this is my dream, that people would really frown on that. And that people would really question me. And I really wondered if I would lose identity, because that's kind of what I had always been conditioned to think that my life was going to look like. And now it was going to look completely different. And would my identity still be intact even without that? And would people's perception of me affect the way that I see me?
Through her journey, Catherine has found encouragement and support. and her business has given her hope.
I actually found incredible encouragement and incredible support. And of course, there are people who do question and don't quite understand and things like that. But that's not a representation of who I am. That does not speak to my character. I have found incredible support from my family and my friends. And actually, I found incredible feedback too from clients and strangers who have now ordered from me. And that's a really incredible feeling.
Catherine has huge dreams for her business. She's setting long and short-term goals.
I really took the whole start small, grow slow to heart. And my dream is to open a boutique-style bakery, which is a very unique thing. There's not really a lot of that. And I want it to be this whole creative, joyful, upscale experience for the client when they are in my shop, in a place where we have workshops and cake decorating classes and bridal showers. And it's fun and life-giving and Southern and a great time. And I would love for 2018 to hold the opening of my boutique bakery. We'll see if that happens. It's a little bit difficult to know what these next couple of months are going to hold, but I have seen incredible growth in the past couple of months, and especially since quitting nursing and devoting all of my time to this dream. So I am very hopeful that that's something that I'll be able to achieve sooner rather than later and open up that boutique-style bakery that I have in my mind's eye.
Catherine joined the Business Boutique Academy and is investing in her future.
I want to grow my business. I've seen it work for me to this point. The tips and techniques and steps and pieces of advice that she gives to grow your business, I find those extremely profitable. The nuggets of encouragement, I find extremely beneficial in my business and in my life and in my own character. I am really excited to see where my business can grow through my joining the Academy.
Now, Catherine is living the life that she wants to live, and she wants to encourage other women to do the same.
The number one blessing is that I'm living a life that I love and that I'm proud of. And then the fact that I can make money doing this is just incredible. But the money is secondary because anything can make you money, but not anything can be your passion and your love and something that you get to share with other people that brings them joy and their family joy. And that's really what I feel here. Think about the things that you love, the words that describe you, words that people, your friends, things that they say about you, things that bring joy and light to your face. And how can you do that well and do it often and share it with others? And when you can do those things, then you can build a career and a life that you're extremely proud of and that you love and doesn't feel like work at all.
What a great story. It never gets old hearing about women winning in business. Now, I want to help you win in business, and you know that one of the ways that we do that is by making money. Now, if you need help figuring out how much money you can make in your business, I have a tool specifically for you. It's called the Profit Potential Tool. If you go to businessboutique.com, you can use the Profit Potential Tool to actually figure out how much money your business can make. All you do is enter your email address, put in some of the most important numbers in your business, and you get a snapshot. You can see instantly how small changes could lead to big results in your business. Go to businessboutique.com and use the Profit Potential Tool to get started. I'm going to tell you guys, one of my favorite parts about Business Boutique are hearing the success stories. You know, when we started just over 2 years ago, we didn't have any success stories. But now, 2 years later, we have hundreds and thousands of examples of women winning in their business. And now I want to share with you a few of those emails and messages I've received. Our first email comes from Imogene. Here's what she writes. I've been a Dave podcast groupie for the past couple of years during my day job, but I finally started branching out, listening to Ken Coleman and now you. I'm so glad I started with the first episodes. I finally discovered my passion with Ken, and now I'm learning my why and how from you. Between you, Dave Ramsey, and Ken Coleman, I have a great foundation for success. I can't wait to keep working toward my goal and come to a Business Boutique event myself. Imogene, that's awesome. I can't wait to see what you do with it. All right, our next message is from Angela Bean, a Business Boutique Academy member. Angela writes, Business Boutique was amazing. I've finished all 4 tiers of my business plan, both with the book and the videos. I've learned so much in such a short period of time. I have reworked my priorities. I am confident in my why, and I have set my goals. I'm so excited about taking control of my life and creating the business I've always wanted. Angela, it sounds like you're rocking it. Way to get going. Our next message comes from Beja, one of our Business Boutique community members. She writes, I am in tears. So far, I kept missing the mark except for last Christmas when I served people the right product at the right time. After several failure to launch attempts over the last 5 years, I gathered the courage to relaunch my website with a similar product. This morning, I have a pre-order special on my website, and the sale notifications keep going off on my phone. I'm so grateful for this community for leading me into renewed courage. Beja, I love hearing that story because there is such power in women championing other women, and I'm so glad you found that encouragement in our Business Boutique community. Our next story comes from Mimi on Facebook. Mimi wrote, My husband gave me your book for Mother's Day, and I'm on chapter 5 and loving it. I've owned my catering business for 7 years, and with 5 kids, it can be a bit of a challenge. Mimi, I would guess so. But I love how your book is helping me break down the steps and walking me through what I need to do to grow. Mimi, I'm so proud of you because it doesn't matter if you have the book. If you don't put it into action, it doesn't work. I'm so proud of you for building your plan and actually using the action steps. I know if you do this, you're going to win, even though you're crazy busy. Our next message is from Jennifer Lee on Facebook. Jennifer wrote, I hit a major milestone in my business today. I just surpassed my 2017 income goal and my 2018 calendar is almost full. Something I hadn't planned on for at least another 3 to 6 months. I'm getting ready to hire 1 or 2 people to assist with my workload. You can do this. Whether you're starting today or you've been hustling for years, just keep going. Do the hard work and celebrate every milestone, big and small. I started as a freelancer to pay my way through school. Yep, I went back to school at the age of 45. And in February, I turned my freelance gig into an idea for business. I took Christy's course and followed it exactly. I launched my business in May of 2017, and I'm amazed at how quickly this has grown. It works. Jennifer, I am so proud of you, and I love hearing how all your hard work is already paying off. It sounds like you have a busy year ahead of you, and I can't wait to see what you do. Our last message comes from Christine Turner with Ruffles and Buttons. Christine writes, In early 2004, I was due to have baby number 4, and I was nesting. I decided to make her a couple fancy baby gowns for church. I immediately started getting requests to make them for other people. Now I have entrepreneurship in my blood. See, my dad has had a business my whole life. My mom has had her own business, as well as my brother. So I've always done something to make money. I just can't help it. So I thought, sure, why not? By April, I had so many orders coming in that I decided to open an Etsy shop to keep the orders organized. My second year doubled my first. My third year doubled my second, and I thought I was maxed out and would just maintain from there. In the 3.5 years since then, my business has exploded. I recently hired a sewing employee because there was no possible way for me to keep up. That was a big deal because I've had helpers for other parts of my business, but sewing was something I was so scared to let go of. But I needed the help. But I did it scared, as Christy says, and I finally feel like I have control again. As a homeschooling mom of 4, the juggling act was just too much. But now that I have a dependable sewing employee and a plan, I'm hoping to be able to spend more time with my kids and husband instead of behind my sewing machine every waking hour of every day. God has been good to me. Christine, it sounds like he has, and it also sounds like you have been faithful with what he's given you. I'm proud of you for taking that brave step of hiring the help you needed, and I can't wait to see how that's going to help you grow next year. Great job. Y'all, I love hearing stories of God's faithfulness. It's amazing how he's taking what we're doing in the Business Boutique and truly changing lives. You're the ones out there doing the hard work and winning, and I love to hear about that. Now, if you have a story you want to share with us, we would love to hear that story. We want to celebrate you. You can send us your story at podcast@businessboutique.com and let us know how you are winning. Now let's listen to the story of a woman who persevered through tough times and fought to keep her business open.
Oh, hi, my name's Kathy Lozano. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and my business is a nonprofit called the Parents Academy. We exist to empower parents with positive parenting skills to reduce family stress and improve family success. Basically, I work with a lot of families in crisis, and they're looking for positive role models and to build a community because very often they lack any kind of support system. My main passion is developing, reaching out, and helping families.
As the director of an early childhood center, Kathy saw a need in the marketplace and she decided to meet it.
I found that I often had parents in my office not knowing what to do with their kid. And I looked at what could I do to help people before the problems arose. So I started the Parents Academy as a small part-time program, just a few classes here and there. And over time, it developed into I was writing curriculum, doing other speaking engagements, and just helping people see that they're not alone. A lot of people have the same challenges. We all want to sell our children some days of the week, but looking at our heart for love in the middle of it and then trying to give people some strategies and support. The program I've developed into, it's kind of a 3-layer program. It's content, connection, and coaching. So the content is giving them some positive skills, connecting with other parents, and being heard. Everyone has a story, and I work with a lot of families whose story sounds like a movie of the week.
Kathy's passion for her business comes from seeing the lives of her customers changed.
Having them feel respected, heard, and valued, and seeing them make positive changes in their life, that's the biggest reward to me. For people to say, I tried it, it worked, I've improved my relationship with my children, I'm not yelling anymore, I found ways that we communicate better, that's like the gift to me. You start looking at it, we have so much in common. I don't care what you show up in, how many tattoos you have, or how many pearls you're wearing, or whatever your life story is. Parenting, we're kind of on an even field. We got this kid and we're like, what do I do now? And so I'm there to help people along the road.
Kathy's business helps bring hope to families.
I believe in helping families. If you're going to help children and build a better future, you've got to help their parents now. And I meet so many parents that have no positive role models. I'm not trying to be their savior. I'm trying to point them in a direction where they can save their family and look at what they can do. I just believe so much in what I'm doing. And families, they need someone to talk to. They need some help. They're very isolated. And all of us think, my kid's the only one that does this. I'm the only one that feels this way. And when they get together, there's laughter, there's tears, there's ridiculous stories told. And I'm sorry to say that after doing this 24 years, I still hear stories that are first time to me in how children were treated by their parents, those who brought them into the world, who supposedly brought them in with love and didn't know how to love them. So my goal is helping people learn within their own hearts how to love their children and how to love themselves.
Kathy is the sole proprietor of her business, and she does it all.
I write the grants, I write the curriculum, I teach the programs, I do the marketing. I wear all the hats, basically, and Business Boutique has been my number one assistant and empowering energy source.
As a nonprofit business, the Parents Academy relied on outside funding. But Kathy hit a roadblock when she lost that funding.
We had full funding from a charitable foundation, and they determined that they were going to close that funding down and do other endeavors. And there were 24 parenting programs in a 4-county area that were all shut down. I believed in the program. I'm part of a faith-based organization that believed in the program, and they said, we're going to do what we can, but it was really up to me to get the funding. I felt that I had a responsibility to seek partners, to continue the work that had been started, and to continue sharing the gift of encouragement. I think that's my number one thing, is I have the ability to inspire and encourage. And so that's something that I didn't believe should be kept silent.
Her competitors had to shut down completely, and Kathy was afraid she would have to do the same. But she was determined to keep her business alive.
I really freaked out. I really felt like my work didn't have value. I mean, I had trained over 3,000 parents in that program, and mine was one of the top performing agencies. And when it was just shut down across the board, it was just really soul crushing because I see how we were helping families, and I was just like, where are these people going to turn? I work with a lot of families in crisis, and they are assigned to take a parenting class but can't find one. I have people driving in from other towns to be in my class because they're like, well, we have to find a class. They come because they have to, and they stay because they want to. And I think it's because they feel heard, valued, and when they themselves come out uplifted, then I know that God is working through me.
During this time, Kathy wrestled with fear. In response, she attended her first Business Boutique event.
What brought me to Business Boutique is I came with the hope that I would get some information and inspiration to see how I could take this, find my own funding, and continue the program. I believe that the belief in myself that I got from Business Boutique is what got me to reach out more and to obtain the grant funding. I actually replaced 1 year's program costs with grant writing since this time last year. And so I know that I'm fully funded through July of 2018, and I have to continue to seek and build partnerships, but not keep the light under the bushel and let people know what we're doing. So I've been richly blessed by the Business Boutique events I've gone to. There's so much energy, there's so much excitement. I've met so many amazing people that have helped me flesh out my dream and find legs to carry it. Taking the business side, learning, what are some ways logistically that I could continue this mission and building it into a sustainable program. If you have the heart, but you don't have anything to keep going, you don't keep going. And Business Boutique helps me keep my heart fueled, energized, and moving forward.
She's made a lot of changes to her business as a result of the things she learned at Business Boutique.
The Business Boutique has given me some of the ways to flesh out that mission, that vision, that passion. Since the Business Boutique last November, I launched a website. I've done about 30 blogs. I started an Instagram for my program. I built up the Facebook. I built a new curriculum, set up something where people pay something where before everything was free. So there have been a lot of bold things that I've done because of the empowerment I got from Business Boutique.
Kathy never stops learning. She has attended 4 Business Boutique events, and she even has a mentor. Kathy has advice for others who feel like they are in a hopeless situation in a business. Stay focused on your why and don't give up.
I would look at who believes what you believe. Connect with other people who believe what you believe. Look around you and see who values your service. Share your story. I think so often we're afraid. We think that it sounds like we're showing off or we're bragging, and we're afraid to say what we're doing. I don't wear a shirt that says, I help people change their lives, but I realize that's part of my mission, is to be there to listen, to care, and to empower. And part of empowerment means you have to connect. If you don't go out there and seek the funding, you won't connect. I had written grants over time, but nothing at this level. I had written grants that got a significant amount of money for the Early Childhood Center, but knowing that when you don't know something, you just jump in and start swimming. And you got to reach out. The thing is, you have to reach out and don't be afraid and don't think everyone else knows this. There's a lot of risk in grant writing. There's a lot of risk in establishing a program. I don't care what you're doing. You just got to jump. It's the thing that Christy always says, do it scared. And there's been a lot of things that were scary, but worth it.
As her business grows, Kathy encounters new challenges. She's currently living in the tension between continuing to do everything herself or hiring a full-time team member.
The Parents Academy is like I'm the number one and only employee at this point in time, and I need to get some help. But I've been afraid if I hire someone to help me with what I'm doing, the funds go down faster. I don't get a salary if I don't bring in the funding. So that's been one of the areas that's been challenging, and I'm looking at how to do more of what you love and less of what you don't, and who can I bring in. I have 2 interns that are working a few hours a week to help me with that, and I'm trying to branch out in that area.
Kathy is setting goals for the future.
I already was a builder when I started the program, and I had my idea, but I want to take it in other directions. I would like to do a podcast. I've always been a writer, but I would really like to write a book on healing wounded families or how I worked on my own issues. I don't know exactly what the book is going to be, but it's in there. And, I met an awesome friend here at Business Boutique last year who happens to be a photographer, and she's like, I want to do headshots for you, Kathy. So I already have the headshot. I just got to write the book.
As a builder, Kathy has a lot of experience running her business, and she has some advice for other builders like her.
I think builders, we're just so busy building that we don't have time to stop and dream. We don't look out, we just look down at what we have to do. And if we don't get off the to-do list, we won't get to the dream list. I've been so blessed. God has been walking all the way. I was looking yesterday at what do I want to change? I'm at this little Airbnb and it's right by the river, and I'm looking out there and I said, turn on the dreaming, turn off the whining. Because I realize there's too many times that I'm just dragged down in my own stress and pressure. And I think for builders, there's more to build. and it doesn't all have to be task. If we turn on the dreams, then we refresh the spirit, we renew the heart, and we can move forward to do greater and greater things.
I love that story, and what a great example of perseverance. Now, if you want to know more about how to build your business, y'all, you need to come to one of our Business Boutique one-day events this spring. There are going to be 3 of them. We'll be in Salt Lake City on March 27th, Grand Rapids on April 20th, and Louisville, Kentucky on April 24th. Y'all, this event will give you all the essentials that you need to start or grow your own business. I'll be speaking along with marketing expert and founder of StoryBrand, Donald Miller. And of course, our good friend Annie F. Downs will be there as well. But you know I have a special code just for you, my podcast listeners. When you go to businessboutique.com and use the code BBWright, you'll get $5 off any ticket to our Business Boutique one-day events this spring. That's BBWRIGHT. So save some money, grab your spot, and I can't wait to see you there. All right, let's talk about your homework for this week. Your homework this week is to share your story. You can share it on social media and use the hashtag BusinessBoutique, or you can share it with a friend in person. You have no idea how your words of encouragement and inspiration might be the exact fire that someone else needs to keep going. Now that's it for this week. Thanks so much for hanging out with me as always, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. For more encouragement on how to make money doing what you love, visit businessboutique.com.